talking about, like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna try to conceive kind of soon. I don't know. Hey guys, I'm home. So earlier tonight, I went to my first Blessingway. Its roots are from Native Americans, and it is a ceremony, tradition that they do to bless the way of the baby that's coming. So we went to Patricia's Blessing Way. Patricia is one of the Norfolk La Leche League leaders, and she's having a baby girl who does have a name, but she hasn't shared it yet until she's born. She could be having her any day now, and we had the Blessing Way to help, give her some positive vibes and, good energy as she prepares for her home birth. One person put it that it's basically like a hippie baby shower, or like, so I kind of feel like I'm officially crunchy now that I have gone to a Blessing Way, and I actually have another one coming up this Saturday. So one of the things we did is we all stood in a circle, and then we took one spool of yarn, and we would each wrap it around our wrist a few times. Well, we said our name, names of our child or children. I think I was the only one with only one child. So basically the way it went was my name is Angel, mother to Kaladin, daughter to Colleen, granddaughter to Alice and Beanne. So everyone did that, and after they did their own wrists, then they'd pass it to the next person, and so on. And so then it got back to Patricia again. We were all connected by this yarn. Then we cut it and tied our piece on to her wrist, and we're supposed to wear it until the baby is born. So they said that probably won't be very long because it seems like she's ready to go at any time. Baby's very low and engaged, but you never know. So I'm going to be wearing this until baby girl comes, and I'll have another one on Saturday, assuming that she's not born between now and then. The other thing we did, we each brought one flower, and she had a wreath made out of rosemary, I think it was, on her head, and we would bring the flower to her, and we would tell her our wish for her birth, and then put it into her wreath. So it looked really pretty, having this wreath on her head with all these nice little wildflowers. I brought a pansy from the neighbor's front yard. Shh, don't tell them. And so I told her my wish for her is for her to not have any tearing, and she said that sounded really good to her. So we also wrote wishes on paper and put it in a box for her. So I also wished for her to have a peaceful and short-lived birth. So it was great, and we had like a potluck of sorts. We all brought food. I brought some blueberries, and just visiting with other moms in the area. I knew about half of the guests, and so it was nice girl time and kid free time for me. And Cal had some nice time with his dad. So I thought that was pretty cool, and like I said, I kind of feel like I'm officially crunchy now that I've gone to one and I have another one, so then I'll really be crunchy. But I thought it was fun because I know some people think that it's inappropriate for a mom to have more than one baby shower, or especially if they're the same gender, and especially if they're close together in age and they still have like the baby stuff. And you hear a lot of people say, but every baby deserves to be celebrated. So I totally understand that sentiment, but Blessing Way is a good way to still celebrate the mom and the baby, but to have it not be about gifts and and have people feel put off by it. I like it because it's celebrating the baby, and it's also great that it's really kind of putting the mama in a good headspace and preparing for her birth. And I don't think you necessarily have to be wanting a natural birth to have a blessing way. I mean, everybody wants to have a positive birth experience no matter what their plan is, and that's what I'm all about. For me personally, I wanted a natural birth. I didn't want an epidural for many reasons, but including the exact thing that happened to me, is I've had back pain ever since. I didn't want to risk having some issues for it. The way I saw it was that, labor is temporary. You get a break in between contractions, and there's a purpose to it. And I felt like I'd rather go through that and then have it be over with than risk having, other problems. And yeah, the back pain has been terrible, and there were many times that, I would have rather been in labor. Eventually I'll have to go into, my birth story so you know why I got one. It was not because I wanted one. I'm all for a mom making an informed decision. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation, and a lot of times doctors will recommend things. Of course, there's great doctors who really do, want what's best for you and whatnot, but a lot of them really just want what's convenient for them, or what just is normal and routine, and being able to be supported in what they want for their birth. So some women are like, I don't want a natural birth. I want to have an epidural. I want to be able to enjoy it. Cool. If that's what you want, then awesome. There's no reason why you couldn't have a blessing way and have people have positive vibes for that. You'll have an easy epidural that takes correctly and doesn't cause you, issues after the fact, things like that. So no matter what you want for your birth, it's great to have, people sending you some good thoughts and good vibes and support, so that, it is a big day, it's an important day, it's a great day, it should be positive and happy no matter what, because you're bringing a life into this world, and that's awesome. Alright, you guys, okay, just got a text from Justin, and he said, holy woman, my packet's getting submitted. So it's officially completed. So now all we have to do is wait for approval and soft orders. So this is really exciting because this has kind of been a long time in the making. We were supposed to have had this finished weeks ago. Theoretically, by the end of this month, we should have soft orders, which is really exciting. That I've been dying to know where we're going, what our future holds. It will be so nice for something to be actually concrete, instead of having to tell people, well, supposedly. So I'm happy. That just made my day, and he's really excited too. So yay. Shack baby. Cheerios. You silly.
Code 8, ready to 16. Code 8, ready to 16.
No, I will not tell you if you vlog.
Indeed.
What if I vlog me while you tell me? Okay, tell me.
Tell you what?
What's the other half?
Well, you gotta promise me if we're gonna do something somewhat special.
Okay.
For it.
Yeah, I promise.
We have money for that?
Yes.
Promise?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe later I'll tell you.
No, come on, tell me.
I know you're getting pretty excited.
Tell me.
I need you to calm down. I need you to calm down right now. Before I tell you. You gotta calm down.
Tell me.
Don't raise your voice at me either.
I'm not raising my voice.
You're raising your voice at me. Oh my god.
Just tell me.
Will you stop just shouting at me?
I'm not shouting.
You're being so loud.
Just tell me.
Destructive.
Just tell me.
I can't think
Just
like this.
tell me what the other half is. You submitted your packet and...
While I was in there, they did my eval.
Okay. Did you get an EP? You got an EP? Yay! Good job, baby. I'm so proud of you.
Not only did I get the EP, I got the number 10.
What's that mean?
Out of all of the corpsmen that are E3s that go to the EP, of those EPs, I got the number 10. So, like, they rate it from number 1 EP all the way down to, I think there was 22 of them. I got the number 10.
Basically, third class is in the bag for you.
I don't say in the bag, that's a jinx. I will go over that with you later for points and stuff.
That's really great, baby. I'm proud of you. Yes, we need to celebrate.
Turn it off.
Okay. We're at Susie's Pizza. Yummy? And he's got a big boy cup. Because we had a mommy fail and left the sippy cup in the car. He had a big boy cup. What a good job. What a good job. Coffee and Mama? Good job! You did it. Sit down.
Get that out of my face. Get it out of my face.
Look at him, he's grooving. Yay!
Think of yourself as rooted. Think of your place in the earth. How did you come to be here? Through generations of women named, the maternal lineage that brought you to this place. Think of their birth stories. Realize their births carry deep wisdom. Some may carry the memory of joy and transcendence. Each birth is a powerful experience. Each birth traces down to you. Just as you pass this knowledge on to your baby, understand that your birth is your own. It will be different from all others. Like the swirls in your thumb, your birth will have a unique pattern, unfolding with each contraction, rising and falling like a newborn's chest. This birth belongs to you. It is an opening. It is the end and a beginning. May this blessing of birth come to you without fear. May this blessing of birth come to you with great understanding. May this blessing of birth come to you and make your heart soar. May this blessing of birth bring shouts of delight to your lips. Blessings to you and your birth. And we say your name, who you are the mother of, who your mother is, and who your grandmothers are. And bringing in that maternal lineage and birthing strength and power.
So all of the earth elements that we have here today remind you beauty and the wonder of nature, and that as mothers, our bodies know what to do, and they are all connected, and we can use nature and think of nature as our example, and we're strong just like the willow tree.
You're so talented.
I know, but I don't feel bad.
No, don't feel bad.
Are you gluten-free?
Yeah.
Hi guys! It is Saturday. I just got done with Michelle's Blessingway. It was awesome. It was really great. Very uplifting and touching and inspiring. Yes, inspirational. It was very inspirational. I knew almost everyone that was there, so it was definitely less socially awkward for me. Because last time I only knew a couple of the people, and there was a lot of people I didn't know, and it was just kind of weird. This time I knew most people, so I got to have a little like girl time and chat with them. And I'll put in footage of the gorgeous cake that Holly made with fondant. Beautiful cake and just good food. I made the buffalo chicken dip, which is freaking awesome. Like, it's gone. They ate it all because it was so good. So that is definitely going into my regular rotation. I got the recipe from my friend Sheree, and I will put it down in the description. So if you guys want to try it, it's really good. And yeah, it was just nice to spend some time with some other women, and it was just empowering and awesome, and I was happy to celebrate Michelle, and she's gonna be having her baby boy soon, and she's due next month, so we'll see. So now I've got the blue yarn with the pink yarn. Patricia was there too, so we'll see how long I'm gonna have to wear both of them, because Patricia's not actually due for 3 more weeks herself. Might be wearing yarn for a while. But I'm very happy for both of them, and we'll see when it's time for us to add to our family. I'm still not quite there yet, but I know I'm getting there. It definitely wouldn't be a bad thing, but I'm still not to the point of wanting to purposefully make any more babies. But I also know that I don't want to like take too long either, particularly if we do in fact want to have 3 or 4. I'm already 29, so if I want to have them be spaced at least 2 or 3 years apart, I don't know if I necessarily want to be pregnant in my late 30s or early 40s, because it was rough enough for me last time, and I was 27. I just don't know. If I had easy pregnancies, maybe that'd be different. Maybe the next one won't be so hard, but I'm expecting it to be, because I'd rather like prepare for the worst and be pleasantly surprised than expect it to be okay and have it be really hard again. So, so with that said, it kind of makes me not want to really do it too late into my 30s, so I kind of have to get a move on if I want to be making more. So that is just one of the many things I think about when I'm trying to decide when is the right timing for us. It's a lot to consider, and there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages either way. So it's just hard. I just can't decide. I don't know what I want, because it's so compelling to wait longer, and it's so compelling to hurry up and do it right away. And I think that's a lot of why we're still technically preventing, but we're definitely not following the rules exactly. So it's unlikely that we will conceive, but it's not impossible at all. Okay, so some people say when you're not trying and not preventing that is trying, and I don't agree with that, because even if you're not full out charting or taking medicines or herbs or doing specific things to try when you're trying to conceive, if you're like consciously like, okay, let's make a baby, and you're trying at it on purpose, it's still very different than, oh, we're just gonna have sex when we want to have sex and not use birth control. So you're making it somewhat likely. So anyway, when you're absolutely not preventing, but you're not really trying, you're not thinking about timing or whatnot, you're just kind of going along with the flow. So it's still likely that you'll end up pregnant eventually, but not as likely as procedure. And to me, it's not just timing things and whatnot, but it's also just a frame of mind. I definitely see there's a lot of peace in not trying, not preventing, because you're open to it. It'll be a good thing when it happens, but it kind of eliminates a lot of that being disappointed on cycles where you're not successful, and the stress and hard feelings that come with that process. Luckily, when we did try to conceive Cal, we had a very short window. We had 3 months between when he enlisted and we decided to go for it and when he had to leave. And luckily, we succeeded the second cycle, so I didn't have to get to that point and I haven't had those feelings. So I can't personally relate, but I have friends and family who have had struggles, and it does seem to be very difficult, and I can definitely understand wanting to avoid that. Maybe that's part of why we're like, where we're at right now. But I would say that we can't say that we're not trying on preventing, because we are technically, I'm sparing the details, but we're technically trying to prevent, but not very effectively. And so that if it's really, really meant to be, it still has that open possibility of happening, but we're just not in the headspace yet where we want it to be likely to happen. We still want it to be unlikely. So we're getting there. I kind of feel like it's a gradual process, and it was last time too, because there was a great deal of time where we got more and more lax with preventing, and as we got more and more open to the idea of it, up until the point where we were like, yes, we're ready, let's do it. So I kind of expect it might be the same way, like it might just very suddenly, like I'm literally like in a matter of days, like I remember talking to some friends at a get together and talking about like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna try to see her kind of soon, I don't know, kind of ready, like I was talking about it like it was kind of still a couple months away, wasn't a really sure thing, and then literally a couple days later we were like, let's do it. I was like about ready to ovulate, so it was just a matter of days made a difference. It might do the same thing too, like it might change very suddenly. Imagining if I have the same kind of rough time. They called it hyperemesis, which is what Kate Milton, that's what Kate had, was hyperemesis, and that's why she had to go to the hospital and everything. And I have one of my good friends gets it very, very badly, where she has to get like a PICC line and the whole nine yards, and she like struggle to keep herself alive, basically, to keep hydrated and nourished. Hyperemesis can get very severe like that, where it is really like a health crisis and could even potentially kill you. And I was nowhere near that bad. I didn't, like, there's sometimes where they'll throw up like several times a day. I didn't get to that point either, but they diagnosed it as such because it was worse than typical morning sickness. Like, I was sick all day long, and a lot of the times I'd be literally gagging and dry heaving for a lot of the day. Early on, it was so bad that literally at least once a minute I was gagging, and it was very hard for me talking on the phone when I had to gag. I was missing work because of it and stuff. It was very bad, and I was doing a lot of dry heaving. It seemed to get worse at my second trimester, not better. That's when I started actually literally vomiting more, and vomiting nothing but stomach bile, which is really gross. I'm sorry. I would drink water and throw it up a few minutes later, and it was so cold. Like, it was really weird and just miserable, and I knew it could have been so much worse, and I'm grateful that it wasn't, but it was definitely very hard. And it didn't subside until into my third trimester, and to imagine going through that again with a toddler to take care of is very daunting to think about that. So that's a lot of why I've held off. That's a lot of why I've held off. Really, the main two issues are being afraid of hyperemesis and having a rough pregnancy, and being afraid of losing my milk. I'm wanting Cal to have benefit of actually consuming my milk and getting the nutrition and immune system boost from my milk until he's at least 2 years old. So I know there's children that will still dry nurse and still have the comfort of nursing and whatnot, and the mechanics and how it helps their mouths develop and things like that, which are other reasons why it's nice to still nurse toddlers. But I still it's really important to me for him to get my milk until at least until he turns 2. So now I'm on my way to go babysit. there's just so much that's up in the air still as far as our future with his career that makes it hard to plan these kinds of things. And I know, again, everybody says that's the Navy life and that's what you sign up for, blah blah blah. I get it, I understand that, you know, I know that's how it is, but that doesn't mean I don't get to complain. That doesn't mean I don't get to like vent, or I'm not allowed to like not like that. I mean, come on. So I am usually a planner by nature. Like, I'm not totally type A about it. I'm not a totally organized person, but I do like getting my ducks in a row, at least about big things, and I like at least, you know, planning ahead with big life decisions and important things, and it makes it hard to do that. So we don't know where we're going to be living afterwards. We don't know location, but what type of command he's going to have. He could be attached to Marines, he could be on a ship, he could be at another hospital. It's supposed to be sea duty, but it could be shore duty again. We don't know if he's going to deploy, when he's going to deploy. It could be he could finish his training and he could, like, a couple weeks later be deployed. Like, that is what happened with my stepbrother. He finished his A school, he went home on leave for a little bit, did a little bit of the duty with his recruiter. He went up to Washington, moved up to Washington, and less than 2 weeks later they're flying him out to meet his ship that's deployed right now. So there's, you know, the possibility of deployment too, which affects things. And there's many, many military wives who give birth to babies without their husbands being there because they're deployed or otherwise away. And you know, if that has to happen, that has to happen. I can't totally predict things and plan around that, but whenever possible, it's nice to try to plan for him to be home. I think everybody tries to do that if they can. So long story short, that's all just to say that a lot of very, very big things are up in the air for us as far as where we're going to live and what our life picture is going to be like. So it's nice to try to know a little bit about what's happening to plan a baby, but you know, there's a lot that we won't know or we might not be able to know. So it's something we're kind of thinking about and considering, but obviously it's not going to be like the end-all be-all because there is still a lot that's still going to be unknown anyway for a while. I don't know. Maybe it'll be pretty soon. I don't know. Just I have to talk about this more. What are you doing? Whoa! Oh! You silly.
Give me
I just got out of the shower, but I have some really good news. Patricia posted that baby Miriam is here. So, since baby Miriam is here, there's a couple things I need to do, and I thought it would be fun to vlog them. So, the first is the bracelet. That was very short-lived. I get to cut this off. So, without further ado, yay, baby Miriam! Ta-da! It's gone. Second thing is this candle was a favor. See, here it is. It says, here is a candle for you today to light when baby is here to stay. When you light its flickering flame, say a prayer in baby's name. So, I'm going to open this as well. I'm going to go take it over there to light it. Okay. So I'm just going to stick it here in my wax warmer because it's a nice safe place. So here's to baby Miriam. May God bless her, such a sweet blessing to their family, and give some rest and peacefulness and joy for Patricia. And so nice, healthy, and happy days for them.